I like that tie. I was told last time I was on the dais that my hair was too long, so I corrected it for this one.
That's the first time I Joseph.
How you doing? Okay. Okay, this meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Annual notice of this meeting was published in the Union County Local Source and the Newark Star Ledger. Said notice was posted in the municipal building, and a copy is on file with the office of the borough clerk. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you're alerted for a fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the borough clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. Donna, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorella.
Here.
Councilman Robina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorella.
Here.
Everyone's here, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, please lead us in the opening prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help. In all our duties and perplexities, we ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry.
Okay, there are no communications for review this evening, but we do have a proclamation for Women's History Month. We have the Woman of the Year. Woo! Rosanna, you want to come join me up front?
Yes, I do.
Is this?
That's from
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, my bad. Oh, she's in your ward, too. Of course, yeah. Maybe she will. I'm pretty sure she will. Come on up, guys. Congratulations. Oh, good to see you. All right, Ro.
Yes, okay.
We have a. Oh, you get a mic. Sorry, we're without Andrew, so we're a little bit lost right now. Huh?
In the cabinet.
There you go. Yep, yep. Check, mic check, 1, 2. All right, Rosanna, it's your show.
Can I grab one?
Okay, yeah, here you go. Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Hello, Council. Hello, residents. And Gilda D'Orio. D'Orio. Yes. So this is Women's Month, and you were elected to be 2024 Woman of the Year. So we congratulate you. I just want to, actually, here, I'm going to hand this over to you. This for you.
Thank you.
But I also want to read something. So when I woke up this morning, this is what I turned to. And it said, "Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all." And then it says, "Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate." I woke up to that this morning, and I thought it was so perfect for you. And I just want to say 3 words to you.
Yes.
You showed determination, dedication into your destiny. And you were so, I could cry. You show, what our families have shown from everywhere, and you still do. And how old are you? Well, I don't want to ask. No, don't ask. No, forget that. Erase that off the record. No, you know why I say that? Because you need to be, honestly, it's an honor to honor you. You are just full of life, your smile, your heart, your love. You walk into your place and you're coming out going, "You want a meatball?" Nobody does that, and I pray that, yeah, especially to me. But I pray that happens, and what you have done, what your family has done, and what it brings to Roselle Park is truly a blessing. So we honor you. I'm happy that you were nominated, and we congratulate you. And I have some gifts and flowers for you, but I know that Councilman Patel wants to say something as well, okay? But I want to give you a hug. Here. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, you
I had the honor of nominating Gilda D'Orio for the Woman of the Year award. Her journey from Italy to the United States in 1950 reflects the quite quintessential immigrant story of true dedication and hard work. As the owner and chef of Iorio Deli for impressive 45 years, and her banquet hall, La Casa di Martino, for 23 years, earning her the affectionate title of the Boss. Gilda was recently named the best sandwich joint in Jersey by Jersey Sandwich Joint, and also clinched the regional title, Best Meatball in Central New Jersey, and number 2 in the entire state. Despite facing personal and economic challenges, Gilda continues to work tirelessly from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. She selfless gives back to the community by donating food and helping neighbors in need, also allowing parking space to be used for community events free of charge. Since 1979, Gilda's small business achievements, unwavering dedication to her craft, and profound impact on her community makes her deserving candidate for the Woman of the Year. So thank you so much.
Hold on, I got gifts. Can you get those? Those are for everyone.
I didn't make it. You don't want my cookies.
I brought you, these are your personal biscotti, and this is just a gift. I also want to say that we did a women's night last week, and I want to say we did a women's inspirational night the other night, and some of the proceeds from that is also coming to you, so it's all connected, okay? All right, congratulations.
Thank you. There you go.
You want to say anything, Gilda?
Yeah, you might.
Come on.
Sit. Sit ahead, I'll hold
Joe,
it.
you want? Yeah, I was gonna
I
say.
got my son the dog.
He's good at that.
She said, I got my son to say those words. So just, my mom wanted to make sure that all of her customers, her neighbors, employees, that she thanks each and every one of them over the last 45 years. This month actually marks the 45th year that she's been in business. And it's not just being in business, raising a family, me, my brother, my sister, coming here from Italy, from the unknown to something that really women in the 70s were looked down upon to start a business. My father didn't want her to have a business. We always had businesses. My father ran gas stations. We all worked. My mom helped out. We all pumped gas. But when she took the chance to run her own business, in her 40s, she said, I'm going to do it no matter what. And even negotiated a pretty good deal behind my father's back because she wanted that business so bad. And then in her 60s, in her mid-60s, she started her banquet hall. So she just wants to let, especially women, know you can achieve anything at any point in your life. Whether you're young, middle-aged, or in your senior years, you can achieve anything if you set your mind to it. So she just wants to make sure that she thanks everyone. Right, Ma? Okay.
I'm so happy to have you here. That's nice.
You're the best. You're officially the best. Thank you, Gilda. Here you go. Yeah, he is awesome. And this is for you.
Yeah, you want to take a quick picture?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Enjoy. I put you boxes. Who wants to come and take one?
You want me to take?
Yeah, Greg, you mind just Yeah, all right. Get the angle. Make me look tall.
You got film in that camera?
Yeah.
Took just as many, it just doesn't make it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Good seeing you. Thanks for coming. Bye. Take it easy.
Thank you. Great word.
Take care, Thos.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, don't Andrew use the glasses?
Thanks for pinch hitting.
You're gonna have it. See you soon.
Okay, now the boring stuff. May I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending any corrections?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to come up and speak on agenda items only, please do so now. I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports of departments as submitted. Donna, you have anything to report?
No, sir.
Ken, anything you want to mention?
Just real quick, we will be presenting the budget introduction at the next meeting.
Okay, got it. Was that?
I said more money, more problems.
You got no idea. Okay, may I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please read ordinance number 2772 by title.
An ordinance amending Chapter 4, Section 11, subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Local License Required.
Okay, may I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2772?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance may do so now? This is specifically on this ordinance. If you guys have something on this ordinance. I'm assuming it's about marijuana. This is specifically about the Marijuana Evaluation Committee. You might want to wait till the second public portion, but it's up to you. Okay, yep, just that's what I thought. Okay. So I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on the ordinance number 2772?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2772?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? So just for the public's record, so we have, as part of the licensing process, we have a body that is made up of the mayor, the business administrator, zoning official,
Class 2 member.
what's that?
Class 2 municipal land use member.
Yep, Class 2, thank you. Oh, here we go. That's why we pay him the big bucks. Mayor, Chief Administrative Officer, Chief of Police, Zoning Officer, Class 2 member of the Municipal Land Use Board. And then what the addition we're making tonight is there will be a Borough Council member appointed by Borough Council, just like the Class 2 member, and a member of the public appointed by the mayor. And just for everybody's edification, so basically, we set a time of the year for applications for marijuana licensing. We review those licenses, we score them, we approve them based on whether or not they're okay and acceptable. That process happened last year and is closed. There are no more licenses to give out, at least from a retail perspective. So we'll entertain potential other licenses if they come up, but right now there are no retail licenses left. But for the future going forward, we'll have a member of the council and a member of the public. So, any further discussion? Okay, I'm seeing none. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2772?
So move.
Second.
Donna, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorilla?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Affirmative, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, lots of resolutions tonight. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial of the council and be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests. In which case, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Donna, please read all resolutions listed on the consent agenda by title.
92-24 is authorizing certain appropriation transfers. 93-24 is authorizing submission of the 2024 Union County Infrastructure and Municipal Aid Grant. 94-24 is designated the area identified as Block 608, Lots 1.01, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.01 of the municipal tax map of the Borough of Roselle Park, commonly known as 107 Filbert Street, 110 Chestnut Street, 1 West Westfield Avenue, 5-9 West Westfield Avenue, 11-13 West Westfield Avenue, 15 West Westfield Avenue, 21 West Westfield Avenue, 33 West Westfield Avenue, and 37-39 West Westfield Avenue, along with all streets and rights-of-way as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment pursuant to local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1C.
Okay, do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda? I'm going to pull 94-24 just for some clarification. Are we pulling anything else? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, Donna, Ron, can I just get you guys for 2 seconds on this one? You're gonna, I would go to that one because there's a mic there. So just while they're doing this, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 94-24?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? So I just want to pull up Ron and Fran because I think I want to make sure everybody understands where this is going and potential ways forward here or potential non-ways forward here. So you guys just keep me honest. I'm going to do my normal prattling on and just keep me honest if I'm wrong on something, right? So we haven't done redevelopment in a while. There's 3 stages to it. There's the redevelopment, there's a study, right? Then there's the plan, then there's the agreement. This would be theoretically the first part of that, right? We had our planner. Did you do the study? Or yeah, you did
the study, yes.
Right. So we don't need to go into the gory details of it, but the one outcome from this recommendation from the land use board that the borough accepted was rather than condemnation, using non-condemnation. So for everybody's understanding, this is a non-condemnation study, right? And we got some pushback from the residents and the owners there. And we could also just do, so this is where I'm going, and there'll be a point to this. We could just do nothing with this at some point, right? The study is there. Should any mayor or council or whatever eventually want to do a non-condemnation project there, they could do that and revisit that in the future. We could do it next year or the year after, but this could also just end there. The study is there, correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, the study is there, the designation, should it be proceeding tonight, is there. In order for any development to take place, the council would need to adopt a redevelopment plan.
Yep, got it. And
The key word is may in the statute.
Yeah.
You don't, it doesn't say shall adopt a plan, it says may, and you
Yep.
can at some point.
so more or less, this is recognizing the study's done, putting a stamp on it, and if we choose to revisit that in the future, we may do so.
Correct, and really the change, is one change in the wording of the plan, it's going to non-condemnation,
Yep, okay,
no eminent domain.
cool. Any questions from council? Just want to make sure everybody's comfortable with where we're at.
I got one. For the resolution, it is saying that notify the business owner. Can we make it that we also put the business tenants? So if you're renting the place, that's why you also get a notice that this is happening.
Fred, that's more a legal question, but that's an interesting point that just came up the other day. This case law on this, tenants do not have to be notified. Because they're not fee owners. They don't have an interest in the property itself. They're leasing from their landlord.
Okay. That's just for transparency or just letting them know this is happening.
I hear what you're saying, and I think it's emotionally, I understand the reaction to that. I fundamentally disagree with it. I mean, when we as a borough recognize the taxpayer and the tax owner. So I live at 508 Sherman Avenue. If I was to move out and all of a sudden rent it, if there is a property maintenance issue there or whatever issue there, it's the responsibility of the owner to communicate to the tenant that this needs to get fixed, and it's the property taxpayer that is responsible for all these things. I just don't think it's extra onus on the borough that doesn't need to happen, and quite frankly, it's not our responsibility, is my view. Any other questions? Okay. May I have a motion, or Donna, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
All affirmative, Mr. Mayor.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Take it easy. Okay. Reports of borough council committees. Council President, we'll start with you tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, first of all, I want to send condolences out to Michael Tango, Patricia Job, and John Marinelli. I had the pleasure of being John Marinelli's next-door neighbor for many years, and what a gentleman he was. Willing to do anything possible. I remember snow, would come over with his snow blower and willing to help me anytime. So may he rest in peace, and what a gentleman he was. May 13th, I attended the recreation meeting. We talked about the upcoming event. It was supposed to be scheduled for Saturday. We moved it to Sunday because of the rain that we're supposed to get on Saturday. So the Easter egg hunt will be at the library on Sunday, March 24th, from 10 to 12. Okay? Like I said, I'm glad, good heads up by the Recreation Committee to postpone, because we were supposed to get a lot of rain Saturday. On the 16th, I attended the Cassano Center, the corned beef and cabbage. Again, I commend Ruben Shaw, did a great job, a great turnout. We actually ran out of food, and poor Mr. Johnson did not get his corned beef, who he was looking forward to all day. So, but I'm sure you made up for Sunday. Okay. But yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself, everything. Today, I attended I had the joint sewer meeting. They hired a new finance administrator, Kelly and Cassie. We voted on, they changed the fiberglass staircase. It used to be wood. It was up for 90 years. The reason for fiberglass, it's less expensive. They also changed the platforms to fiberglass. We actually, we got new gear boxes, new switches, and an oil pump upgrade kit. So, again, it was a short meeting, but we accomplished all this. But they were telling me the fiberglass will save a lot of money. So, and like I said, the staircase was there for 90 years. So hopefully this will last longer. Okay. Next, I would like to wish a happy birthday to Roselle Park. Tomorrow, March 22nd, it was incorporated in 1901 and everything. So happy birthday, Roselle Park. The Historical Society is planning a celebration in 2 years, in 2026, where Roselle Park will be 125 years old. Wow. And our nation will be 250. So, like I said, that'll be 2 years from now. But happy birthday, Roselle Park. If you need to get a hold of me, get me at jpetrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. And that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Oh, yeah. Started on this side first.
That's how, change it up. Keep you guys on your toes.
He wasn't feeling the love. So.
I gotta share it, man. My bad.
No, just kidding. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. I just wanted to acknowledge this month as Women History and Irish Heritage Month. I'd be remiss if I didn't do so. Also, Council President is correct. I had my plans on sinking my teeth in that good corned beef this year, but
you gave it to the people first. That's a man of the people right there.
Yeah, I'm still crying about that. No, that's fine though. But it was great. The celebration was fantastic as always. I can't, kudos to Rupin. Also, I wanted to. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I wanted to just touch just briefly on reporting crimes or reporting infractions. I received a couple of emails in regards to things that I felt should be sent to the police department first. So for urgent and even non-urgent police matters, feel free to CC me and I can always follow up. But for immediate response, you guys should be calling the police department. I'm not by my email, like as soon as you email me, there, especially if it's urgent, and even some non-urgent matters like illegal parking, someone driving on someone's yard, driving down the wrong way. Please CC me but call the police, 911. Or call the non-urgent number. I wish, what's the name was here? Also, I want to give a special shout out to Alex and Heather and Brian Dunn from Animal Rescue for helping me and my family out with resolving a domesticated abandoned bunny concern. My wife and I truly appreciate you guys so much with resolving that matter for us. So thank you. Also, I wanted to give a touch of, just to give a shout out to Roselle Park Police Department for doing a fine job. I'm certain my colleague Jay may speak about it, but just as the liaison to the public safety, we did a pedestrian traffic detail that was phenomenal. I'll save that for Rabana. So if you need to get in contact with me, please give me a call at 908-303-1519, or you can email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. And just as a public service announcement, I'd ask the public to please refrain from leaving abandoned pets of any kind at any elected officials' homes. Something that's genuinely frowned upon. No matter how cute the bunnies are, probably not the responsibility of your local councilman to adopt those bunnies.
Especially if we're out of shape. There's no way I'm chasing them.
Correct. So just, I shouldn't put that out in the universe. I'm probably going to get a bunch of cats in front of my house tomorrow, but public service announcement. No. Stranger than fiction. Councilman Signorello.
Good evening. So just on March 8th, I went to the Sherman School to do a Read Across America. I read a book, Left Foot, Right Foot, and all that good stuff. But I enjoy talking about fire safety, calling 911, and I brought him a smoke detector, a carbon monoxide detector, and I'm still amazed to this day. I have 20-year-old children that remember when you call 911, it's not to call for Joey's Pasta and Pizza, it's to get emergency service to your house. So these kids still remember a really good, sharp 5th grade class. I enjoyed every minute of it. Short report for me. Look, if you have a street light out, you could email me, or you could, I know our clerk's doing triple duty, but email the clerk and report it because they're important, and it seems like they've been lax on getting these lights and lamped up on the Borough Roselle Park. Other than that, you could call me at 908-721-6488, jsignorello@rosellepark.net. Hope everybody has a nice holiday next week.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lyons.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and residents. This has been a great month so far. I also I did the Read Across America on the 8th at Sherman and Robert Gordon. I read to the 4th and 5th graders, and it was just a great time. I love programs like this. I actually read a book about trying and really stepping out and doing something for the first time, and really encouraging, just like actually Joe Diorio said, you could start at any time, just start. And it was such a powerful message. I also, on March 15th, hosted a Women Inspiring Women Night at Costa's, and we had such a great turnout. We had about 55-ish people there, and it was awesome. Women showed up and got to know each other, and it was really about connection, communication, and community. It's those are my words, and it was beautiful to watch. We also had Playoke, which is a local business in Roselle Park, and they are a karaoke team. So on that note, we are going to be hosting a karaoke night on April 12th at Costa's. All are welcome, so come and sing your heart out. I also attended the St. Patrick's Day celebration at the community center. Joe Caroselli's band was there, and they made us dance. So it was just a really great community event. It was family atmosphere. I felt like I was back in 1985 eating with my Italian family, but they were Irish. It's fine. No, it was multicultural, but it was awesome. We had such a great time. I attended a library meeting this week, and they are bustling with lots of activities. They are having a craft night that they're actually booked. You're going to probably be on a waiting list, but that's a good problem. They're having Tai Chi, so definitely check that out. Remember to go to the Roselle Park app. It's called My Roselle Park, and it does list all of the upcoming events and all the calendars and everything that you're going to need. Yeah, I think that's it for my report, and if you need to reach me, please call me at 908-726-8773 or our lines at rosellepark.net.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
You're welcome.
Councilman Patel?
Good evening. The Environmental Commission is holding the first Repair Cafe event at the Casano Center on Saturday, the 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They will have experts on hand to fix beloved but broken items for free. Walk-in customers are welcome and encouraged. Also, the community garden sign-up will begin in April. Stay tuned for updates in the coming weeks. Lastly, I would like to thank the Mayor and Council for awarding Gilda Diorio as Woman of the Year. Have a good night. K. Patel at rosellepark.net. Thank you.
This is a good report, Councilman. Councilman Rabina.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Roselle Park. First off, I'd like to offer my condolences to my friends and neighbors, the Matos and Edwards families, on the loss of their father, Frank Edwards, who was a familiar face here in town, especially to our kids and families on the west side, as he served as a crossing guard on West Clay Avenue. My wife and I attended the wake last week, and so many in our community came out to pay their respects. May he rest in peace, and may his family and friends find comfort in the days ahead. I'd like to thank Mayor Signorello on behalf of myself and residents in the 5th Ward for your unwavering commitment to improving our parks and open spaces. Resolution 93-24, which was just passed this evening, I'd like to say thanks to the support of my colleagues here on council. It authorized the submission of the Union County Infrastructure and Municipal Aid Grant with a 50% match to improve Boy Scout Park. It's currently an underutilized space, and this grant helps fund improvements to include a new shaded structure, new flagpole, adequate lighting, electrical, and ADA-compliant paths. The goal is to have this passive park better utilized by our residents and families and have it be a place where our kids and scouts can gather for meetings and workshops. And with a new stop sign and rain garden planned at the Amsterdam and Ashwood intersection, I look forward to working together to increase safety and enhancing aesthetics and use to benefit all who live in the area. On March 9th, I attended a budgeting conference at Mercer County College, spoke with council members from Hopewell Township, P-PAC, Gladstone, West Windsor, and Newark, and heard examples on budget scenarios and funding opportunities. Many communities throughout the state are going through similar challenges as we are, and many successes as well. What's important is vision, teamwork, and feedback from the public. Speaking of feedback and input, on April 17th, between 5:30 p.m. and 7 p.m., I'll be hosting a 5th Ward Public Safety and Listening session. We're squaring away the location, so stay tuned, but we're setting this up as a result of concerns due to vehicle thefts and home invasions in and around their area. Our neighboring communities are experiencing upticks, and while our PD is awesome, we all need to be aware and prepare for threats against our families and property. I'd like to discuss with the team setting up neighborhood watches and other target hardening tactics and enhancing communication. Councilman Johnson, as Chair of Public Safety, and a representative from the PD will be on hand to hear concerns and provide information. PD will also be increasing presence along Route 28 and roads on the west side near the Garden State Parkway. If you see suspicious activity on your block, don't hesitate to call the police at 908-245-2300. And as Councilman Johnson had alluded to earlier, thank you for mentioning that, the pedestrian detail was conducted on Faytute Avenue on March 14th, yielding 17 stops. 11 summonses were issued, 7 warnings in a 2-hour period from 10 to 12 to 2. No, 10 to 12, sorry. Last week, as a PTA member and a father of an 8th grader, I supported the 8th grade graduating class at their fundraiser at the Habit Burger Grill in Union across from Kane University. I'd like to thank all the families who came out to support and all the parents and families who volunteer their time and energy to support our children in schools. Tomorrow, Friday, March 22nd, the 8th grade committee will be having a fundraiser at Wendy's in Roselle on Locust from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. with 20% of sales benefiting the committee. So if you're looking for a good fish sandwich and fries or a good burger close by, please consider supporting. Next Thursday, the 28th, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Habit Burger by Kane will host another fundraiser contributing 20% of sales to the class. I'll post about it next week, and thanks again. On Sunday, the 17th, I joined many of my colleagues here at the St. Patrick's Day celebration at the Casano Center. I think we all got up and danced to Joe Caroselli's band. All in all, a great time serving. Thanks to Sunrise Diner, our latest member to the Chamber of Commerce, for providing the food. It was great talking with friends and neighbors, and another fantastic event coordinated and organized by Director Shaw. I attended a couple of webinars by the New Jersey Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Council and NJDOT. Topics discussed it included public right-of-way accessory guidelines, NJ Bike and Walk Coalition DOT updates, including the Strategic Highway Safety Plan overview. What's good to know is that everyone's on the same page regarding making our roads, streets, and highways safer and accessible for all road users, and I look forward to more improvements in our community in the months and years to come. Also, sign-up sheet for the inaugural tour of Roselle Park on May 4th is now available. Please visit the Borough Roselle Park on Facebook or my Facebook page to sign up and for more details on the bike clinic and helmet giveaway. We've got some additional partners coming, so please join us for the ride at noon and the clinic starting at 1:30. As Councilman Johnson mentioned earlier, it is Irish Heritage Month, so I'll end my report with an Irish blessing. May your joys be as deep as the oceans, your troubles as light as its foam, and may you find sweet peace of mind wherever you may roam. Wishing all who observe a peaceful Ramadan, happy Holi, happy Purim, and happy Easter, and, of course, happy birthday, Roselle Park. Fifth Ward, you know I'm here for you. Reach me at jrabine@rosellepark.net, 862-236-0019. Mayor, residents of Roselle Park, that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay, report of May. I just have two things I'd like to update folks on, sort of bigger level things. So we got some good news and some whatever news. There are certain entities in the state that I love working with. There are certain ones that's like pulling my hair or pulling teeth. Unfortunately, two of those are two of the most important ones for Roselle Park, NJDOT and NJ Transit. Although I love some people there, it's just a headache to work with them. So a couple big strategic things that are going on. So I gave Councilwoman Lyons and Councilman Rabina a heads up because their wards are touching the train station. Unfortunately, the project manager for our train station renewal, we're very happy the state awarded us, I think, $37 million to renovate the train station. Our project manager left for another job at Amtrak, which sort of set the project back a little bit. They are at 90% complete in terms of design, whatever that means. We were at 38.7%. I'm not making this number up, last year, which is an oddly specific number. Don't know how they calculate this. The current strategy is, unfortunately, I think they were looking to go out to bid in the fall originally of this year. It looks like they're going to go out to bid for the project in January of next year, 2025, with a likely start date of the end of 2025 or fall of 2025. Hopefully it doesn't take long. Our train station, as somebody who commutes back and forth from the city, it's kind of an embarrassment right now. Half of the gangway is totally blocked off because it's unsafe. It's propped up by, metal bars right now, and it also is not handicap accessible. I haven't seen the latest plans, but there are plans to add an elevator for those who need access to it, and obviously overhaul the situation as well as the parking lot situation, which is not great right now. So rest assured, council and folks, everybody who asks me about this, as somebody who utilizes that at least 3 times a week, it is something that I consistently press on. The other thing is Route 28. We keep talking about pedestrian safety. There's only so much that Roselle Park Police Department can do. I am constantly appalled with how little people have respect. I sound like an old man now. The way people drive in 2024 is frankly embarrassing. The stop signs that are blown in everywhere in Roselle Park, the speeding that happens everywhere in Roselle Park. We can't be everywhere all at once, all the time, but we can take a look at the most painful areas. Route 28 although there's a lot of problems here, Route 28 is the most problematic area. Last year, DOT agreed to do a study on it. My understanding, they are continuing to do that study on it. Councilman Johnson did a great job bringing this forefront, along with the other council people, but I know there's been deaths in his area, so obviously near and dear to his heart. I will continue to press on that. I've advocated for a listening session with the council people. I'll continue to do that and make sure we do that once Andrew's back. Don't want to drop the ball on that, but just, I know there's a lot of people that consistently ask me about this. As much anxiety as everybody has about these two major projects, trust me when I say it breaks my heart seeing the types of dangers that we have on Westfield Avenue. It breaks my heart the types of dangers we have around the train station. So these big strategic issues are something that we constantly press on and will continue to press on. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, at least with I think there's light at the end of the tunnel with the train station. We'll keep pressing on Route 28. So any other questions? Mayor Sig at rosellepark.net. I guess that concludes my report. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So move.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All good. If you'd like to speak on any subject matter, you may do so now. Please come forward to the microphone, state your name and address for the records. Is the mic on, Adolfo? Let me go check.
I guess there hasn't been too many people there. Is that a little better?
That's
Adolfo de Cosmo, 531 Spruce Street, here in Roselle Park. The transit, are you guys looking to give it a project labor agreement with the building trades?
So I actually, to be honest with you, I was going to say it's up to, yeah, I was going to say, Joe, you, because I think it's out of our hands.
So if it's a public works project, a transit project, they have to use, under the state, they have to use a contractor that does pay prevailing wage. But that will be funded by the state.
I understand that because it's over $35 million,
so
but are you considering signing a project labor
It's
agreement
not a
with the building
project that's
trades?
done by the town, it's a project that the town supports that transit does.
I don't think you understand what I mean by a project.
No, I
labor
know what a project labor agreement, but there's no agreement to sign.
So can I just try and cut the middleman out? So when we do I'll give you an example. When we need to build a new DPW building, that'll be a project that's funded, overseen by Neglia Engineering, designed by us. That's within our realm where we can do a PLA. This project it's on NJ Transit land, so it's actually going to be done by NJ Transit. It's not a Roselle Park project.
So we're not bidding it?
Correct.
We are not putting it out to bid. NJ Transit will put it out to bid. Yeah.
Understood.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I
Yeah.
pretty much
Yep.
wanted to ask.
Yep. Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else?
I'm Betty Woodruff, 134 Bender Avenue. I just had a question on the Cannabis Review Board. Who is the zoning officer, and who's the Class 2 member? And I saw you changed it from 5 to 7. I thought that it is officially 5 now, and
It's officially 7 now, after the vote tonight. The Class 2 member is...
Andrew.
Oh, yeah, Class 2 member. You're Class 3 member.
Class
Andrew
three.
is the Class 2 member. Yep.
okay. And then if it's officially 7, who are the other 2 people?
So I was going to say, we just passed it tonight, so likely on the next agenda, we can have, council can vote on who they want amongst them to be number 6, and I will get a pick from some resident to be number 7.
Okay, so the mayor is responsible for the whole committee, basically, then?
I mean, I would say not entirely, right? So the way it works in our form of government is with most positions, I make the appointment and it's up to council confirmation, right? So, the de facto position with one of them is the police chief, right? So police chief was hired 2 years ago. I appointed the police chief. The police chief was approved by council. So, yeah. And the ordinance itself is written and approved by council as well, right?
Okay, and who is the police chief? I've since Mr. McCaffrey left.
Dominic Freno.
Dominic.
Freno, Frino.
And the zoning officer?
Right over there. Rich Beluccio. Nice and easy for you.
Okay, that's pretty much it. I didn't realize we were late, I guess, and I didn't hear the,
No worries. We do, so this is an ordinance, so there's two readings always. This was the second reading. I mean, the ordinance was originally adopted last year at some point. I don't really remember when, but this was amending. Originally was a 5-person board. We expanded it to a 7-person board.
why?
Greg, I was going to say, yeah, go for it.
I can answer that.
Yes.
This is a strong council and weak mayor system, so therefore I felt the need that we should have a council representative on there.
Okay. So in order to get that, well, I'm just confused as.
We're just cleaning up the paperwork, just by adding the council member to it. Just, for regulations, rules, things of that nature, what's going to get passed by the Cannabis Review Board or not passed by the Cannabis Review Board. But we're just adding simply a representative that from council that represents council's interests.
I would have thought that would have been,
Yeah, it was a small snafu oversight, and now we're fixing it.
all right. That's pretty much what I have questions for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, some places call it a ceremonial mayor instead of a weak mayor. I mean, you don't got to.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get a council.
I was feeling it.
My apologies for saying it. I'm just trying to get a council representative.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jean Wands from 110 East Roselle Avenue. My curiosity is what are your intended plans for cannabis sites? What do you have in your mind? How many? Where? How? The minutiae.
Yeah. So last year there were 3 licenses awarded. The 2 applicants we've only had 1 applicant so far, which was the applicant on Westfield Avenue. We had a Fun Land Use Board on Monday. Everybody told me to get my hair cut. I got my hair cut since then. That would be the one that we know about, and it has applied. There is an existing medical facility called Breakwater over by the McDonald's. They have a existing building. They're building their future building behind, and they will be knocking down the building up front. They have also requested a license to, right now they're just doing medical. They could potentially do some other side recreational, thank you for the word. And other than that, I don't know if we've had any other, we have one other applicant, another area on Westfield Avenue, so there would be a total of 3.
Okay, my question and deep concern is this is recreational marijuana that I'm assuming these will be shops where you can purchase recreational marijuana?
Yes, and I was talking with Councilwoman Lyons. One thing is these licenses are conditioned just like liquor license on good behavior, keeping a sound building, keeping a clean building, making sure that nobody's smoking pot on the site, and we have the ultimate power to revoke those licenses if one of these sites is not working out.
Okay. Well, one of my concerns also is that one of the things that we're all working very hard for is to encourage our children not to do drugs, not to do pot, not to do these things. If you have sites in a town of 1 square mile, that's not really sending a positive message, in my view. And I'm deeply, deeply concerned on many levels with marijuana, but in particular with my town and the number and availability and reputation of the town that can follow these types of availabilities.
Yeah, I understand and appreciate the concern. What I would say is I think it's also a concern. Underage drinking, as somebody who's grown up in Roselle Park, is also a strong concern. We have, 5 liquor stores in Roselle Park, right, which is a lot for a square mile town. I think that, frankly, and members of this council could disagree and have disagreed in the past, right? It did not pass unanimously. We had people on council, Rosanna, Councilman Patel, that voted no. I respectfully, I want to assure you that as I've mentioned before, just like bars, just like liquor stores, they will be held accountable, and that if they are having issues, their licenses will be revoked. But these things, you have to check your ID before you go in, underage sale is not appropriate, and that's a surefire way to get your license taken away. And, me personally as mayor, I think I've seen more people do dumber and worse things drinking beer than smoking cannabis. It's something that's legal in the state of New Jersey. You could disagree or not agree with it, but by popular referendum, it passed in the state of New Jersey. It's something that's an increased revenue maker for us as a borough, and something that I think, candidly, I think after 5-10 years of seeing these things, my hope is people see that it's not as dangerous as it was made out to be in the Ronald Reagan years of the 80s, because, no underage person should be drinking. No underage person should be smoking weed. But that's why we have age requirements for these things.
I do, and I do differ with that. But however, you have people here then that will be consuming, because we have parties, we have gatherings, we have people that consume alcohol.
Yep.
That's the norm. Okay. Now they will be able to consume pot.
Yep.
So they'll be taking a depressant and a hallucinogenic drug at the same time. This will be going into their body and into their brain. Then they will go in their hop in their car and head home. Do we not have a moral responsibility to our citizenship and anybody driving and living in this town?
Respectfully, I would say whether I could be totally anti-marijuana and we could ban it in Roselle Park right now. I mean, there'd be serious legal implications if we did that right now, given the fact that we've already issued licenses. But if that is the concern, they can go right over the border right now and go to Roselle and get it. And if that is something that you feel like is a problem morally, societally, that problem already exists. I disagree with it being a problem. I think if you're of age, you should be able to consume marijuana and beer, but that problem already exists, frankly.
It does, and I will tell you.
And just real quick, it is legal to consume whether or not we're selling it in Roselle Park. If you're worried about parties of people drinking and smoking, you could have a party drinking and smoking right now.
We have the option as to whether or not we want to have these stores available in our town. I have to say my disappointment is great. I too have lived in this town my entire life. My disappointment is great, and I'm saddened by it. Thank you.
I understand. Thank you.
Good evening. Hannah Antonson, 216 Bender. I had two questions I wanted to ask about. One was again regarding the cannabis. This council member discussed a talking tour, or you were going to have a meeting. What was it?
It's a public safety and listening session.
Listening session. Did any council member have a listening session about granting rights to a cannabis store before you voted on it?
So we have done listening sessions in the past, right?
Were there any done for cannabis?
So to answer your direct question, no. I can elaborate afterwards. Your time is precious, so no is the short answer. Please proceed to your second question.
Okay, second question. Regarding the traffic, you said there was a traffic study or some kind of a traffic analysis?
Yeah, so Route 28 has been identified as a problem area from a safety perspective.
And when was that identified as a problem area from a safety perspective?
It was identified as a safety issue. What was it, Greg?
Well, when I first got elected, that was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
That was 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 2021.
Yeah.
That was after the second, fatality that occurred off of Dalton and Route 28.
And was that considered in the cannabis referendum?
No. I guess. I mean, we think about public safety all the time, right? When our zoning officer, construction, safety is reviewed. I mean, I would say whether or not it was, let's just wave a magic wand in the site you're talking about. Let's just assume that it was a bakery, right? If you're talking about public safety, if there's foot traffic, there's going to be public safety concerns off a highway.
Well, there's a proposed change from professional services to a retail establishment.
Yes.
And if there's been already fatalities and a known traffic problems from 2020 to 2021, that calls for study and further action. Shouldn't that have been included in part of your analysis as to whether a retail establishment that will be open into the evenings would be given on Route 28?
Ma'am, respectfully, the problem we have on Route 28 is that Route 28 from Plainfield to Westfield to Garwood to Cranford is a one-lane 35-mile-an-hour street. The problem we have in Roselle Park, which is a detriment to a lot of towns and cities in the state of America, is at some point they turned it into a 4-lane highway. So I agree with you, but the answer is not doing business on Westfield Avenue anymore. So let me finish. The answer is turning it from 4 lanes into 2 lanes and having parking.
So so it wasn't considered as part of the...
It's considered as part of the land use board application.
Okay. All right, those are the 2 questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. And I just want to say, I wanted to make sure I was respectful of citizens' time, but I just want to say, we have done special listening sessions on a myriad of issues, right? I don't know if Jay was elected, you guys weren't elected yet. I don't even know if Greg was on, but I think Joe P., I think you're the only survivor from that. You know, when we had Sullivan Chevrolet redevelopment and we had 30, 40 people coming to council meetings to discuss this, you know, we took a pause and did a listening session as to what that project would look like and what that project would feel like. I know that's not the answer everybody wants to hear, but there is nothing done hidden here. Everything that we do is announced on the website, it's posted on Facebook. And when people were upset about that project, we did a listening session because we took a pause and saw that people were coming out. We have done 2 votes on marijuana. One that had 6 yeses. Again, I think Joe was the only council person here, which was medical cannabis. And I don't even think that there were 2 members of the public there. The other was recreational. And there was, again, maybe 2 people here at most. And when people ask, like, well, you should have advertised it better, you should have advertised this better, there's other things that we don't necessarily advertise any more than we normally do. People show up. We had, at one of the land use board meetings, with no special advertising, we had a dry cleaner that's been empty for the last 12 years. And if people thought there was a lot of people at the land use board on Monday night, there was probably double that to speak out with no special announcement or ever. So candidly, if people had come out, if I thought there was more concern at the time, maybe we would have taken a pause, but there was nobody here at all. And as somebody who's the mayor of Roselle Park, again, I share everybody's concerns, but I need to look at this globally. The referendum for marijuana is something that passed in the state of New Jersey by 70%, and Roselle Park was actually north of that 70%. The number's escaping me, right? So it's something that there was broad support for. And, you know, that's where I stand. But I will say, and I've been talking to council people here, and I really want to reiterate, I give people a chance, but I am hard if you cross the lines and if you are not in compliance with our rules in the state of New Jersey and in our town. If any of these places, if there are parties out on the front yard, if there are people smoking doobies like in the I can't believe I said smoking doobies, nobody says that, in the parking lot, just like with liquor stores, keep me honest here, Rich, just like with liquor stores, just like with bars, there are ramifications to doing those issues, and even harder ramifications when it comes to marijuana, and those ramifications will be in full force should there be any malfeasance. I think we can only do, are you coming back up? I think we can only do 1 public portion per person. It's up to me? It's your chair. Okay. You may come up again if you want to, and Adolfo, if you want to. We're having a short meeting. I know people don't want to stay much longer, but if you want to come up, please feel free to do so.
One question.
Yep.
How many of you, or which ones of you, would buy a house within a block of a cannabis store? Good for you. You would?
Yeah, absolutely. We purchase houses by liquor stores. This is a modern day prohibition. It's the same thing as alcohol. Back in the day, people probably were coming to council and said, why are you legalizing alcohol liquor stores in my community? And we're just reliving this again in 2024.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, please.
I completely hear what you're saying, and I am a hard no on cannabis, especially where you live. I can just relate, just as a resident, and I have spoken out as a resident. But then I also am hearing what the mayor is saying, and I did speak with him, and it is something that we need to hear, that if there is a problem, that we are going to take care of it, the mayor is going to take care of it. And I really do have faith in that, because no one wants to see anything crazy go on in the town. But at the same time, I am happy that people are coming out and speaking, because we need to hear it. Unfortunately, just like the mayor had said, it's so important to get it at the stage that we do vote on, because some of us did vote no, but if you were here, you would have been able to also be the voice at that time. But that's just a part.
I was getting agenda meetings, and then I stopped getting them, and I'm not really in love with the computer.
Yep.
My Christian background aside, I have things to say about a computer that.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I would say, this is going to come off really harsh, but this is the last thing I will say on it, is I get this all the time. I said it at the land use board, I'll say it again. When I get complaints, somebody moved in by the high school, and the high school football games are too loud. Bought a house by a high school. I understand that it is a different type of use, but when people bought a home in that area, they bought in an R1 zone next to the ROB zone, where retail is allowed, where businesses are allowed. Now, I understand what existed there may have been more palatable, but I would much rather own a home next to a thriving business and a clean business and a nice-looking building, irrespective of what that is, versus, quite frankly, a building that is falling apart, underutilized, and being pretty close to blighted.
It's an abandoned building in my
Correct.
definition.
Yeah.
It looks like an abandoned building. I just never expected this to happen. I've raised my children here. I have neighbors who have babies and little people. And I really worry about what's the message you're sending.
Mm-hmm.
I have medical background, and I don't know. Years ago, I took a class, and one of the things that we learn in that class is that you can have just as much fun without it as with it. And I don't support it, and I don't support the drug, and I don't like what's happening. Certainly know that the schools spend a lot of money hiring teachers to teach about drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we open up a recreational cannabis right under their nose. Westfield doesn't have it, Garwood doesn't have it, and Bradford doesn't have it, because they applied, I understand, for, or they submitted an application years ago so that they would not be in violation if they did not accept cannabis applications. Liquor's here. I don't support that either, but I can't do anything about what's already here. I have seen the kids at parties when my kids were growing up so drunk, and I look to the parents on that issue, so drunk he almost died.
Yep.
And I can tell you we've lost kids in this town.
Yep.
And I'm speechless.
I appreciate it, and Liz, the time limit was supposed to be 4 minutes. Unfortunately, we haven't been taking the time, but I do have to cap everybody going forward at 4 minutes. But I hope, and my prayer is that I mean this in the most respectful way, is that I prove you wrong, right? I hope that they come in. I hope it's a beautiful building, and I hope you never hear a peep from it. And I hope we have this conversation in 18 months from now, and you say, you know, Mayor, this didn't end up being a big deal. That's my hope.
We'll see.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Woodruff. I'm at 134 Bender Avenue. You just heard from my wife, and I'm not disagreeing with her at all. I do have a compliment to the board. You know, at the Christmas tree lighting, it was a very nice affair, and you had crafters there as well. It was extremely well done, And as a representative of the Methodist Church right in the corner there, we certainly appreciate not only the care and time you took cleaning it up before and afterwards, but also the people were extremely helpful. In conjunction with that, a suggestion, when you have the farmers market starting on Wednesdays, coming up pretty soon, why not have crafters there then as well? Maybe attract some more people, and it might be worthwhile.
It's a good idea. I know the farmer's market person pretty well, so I'll bring it up.
But if you bring in crafters, you bring more people in. But anyway, But I think it's worth at least considering.
Great idea.
But my primary purpose of being here, aside from the compliments, is to get a little more information in reference to the cannabis or the marijuana situation.
Yep.
What does the ordinance say about how far apart they can be from schools and playgrounds?
So the federal statute is 500 feet. Our ordinance is...
A school?
From a school, yes. 500 feet from a school. Our ordinance is 1,000 feet from a school.
1,500?
1,500. Is it 1,500? Okay, it could be 1,500.
How much is it?
Yeah, 1,500.
1,500?
Yes.
Made that motion.
Well, is the one they're talking about at the bottom of Colonia Road, close to that?
Was there a variance required for that?
I would think it is.
I don't think there was a variance. No, the only variance that was required there was parking, so it is, to my knowledge, not within 1,500 feet.
And parking, I think, also is going to be an issue. But one of the things I think you're tending to overlook, you're trying to put it in the same category as alcohol.
Yep.
And quite frankly, most of the literature I've read about marijuana talks about being this an entry-level drug for a lot of other drugs as well.
Yep.
I'm not so sure we really want to invite this kind of clientele into our town. In addition to which, I don't think too many people have an objection to medical marijuana.
Yep.
But now we're having possibly 3 cannabis locations.
Yep.
What is the compelling reason and rationale for having 3 in a 1 square mile town for essentially recreational marijuana?
Yeah, so if you're done with your questions, I'll answer. You have 46 seconds left, so if you have any other questions, go for it.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll respond. Sorry, we're supposed to limit the public portion to 4 minutes. Unfortunately, Andrew's not here. He usually does it, but I'll be the enforcer tonight.
She's a lot prettier than him.
Don is beautiful. Don is beautiful. So look, I would say I fundamentally disagree with a lot of that thinking, right? And we don't have to have this debate back or forth. I think the gateway drug myth is just that. It is a myth. As somebody who's consumed marijuana, right? I don't do any harder drugs, right? I don't even really smoke marijuana much anymore. I have a gummy every now and again, but it's legal, so. So I would like to think I'm a walking, talking example of a gateway drug myth. I do not. There are hard facts that any narcotic substance is detrimental to a growing and development brain, and that's why we have age limits for all of these things. And I just really want to reiterate, we have zoned for retail. We have not zoned for any consumption, right? So these are not going to be. There are theoretically towns that are going to have basically marijuana bars where you can hang out and smoke like you smoke hookah. We have not zoned for that. So these will be, and again, from somebody who's speaking from experience, and I encourage everybody here, everybody who's watching, even if you don't partake, go down Route 22. I mean, West Springfield is an example, zoned for 5 of them. Go down Route 22. Go try to go to one of these places. The people are in for 5 minutes, just like a liquor store, to buy their product and leave. They get out, they get in, they go home. And the question is number of why. Look, could we have gone smaller from the onset? Potentially. I feel like we made the zoning restrictive enough where we might only end up having 2. Maybe 2 is too many as well. But, I had a conversation with one of the councilwomen, there's only one councilwoman, so you know who it is. I candidly, I'm going to be very blunt with you. I think if all of a sudden magically we had 3 in town, I don't think all 3 are going to survive, right? Which there's good things and the bad things. We have competition. We have there's in Union, there's in Elizabeth.
Joe, I respectfully submit, there's a world of difference between Route 22 and suburban Roselle Park. A world of difference, and you got kids walking up and back. You don't have it on the highway, and the highway is essentially an interstate exchange open to anybody in town.
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not so sure you really want to attract.
And Mil, I got to cut you off, but I think where there's a fundamental break is the logical argument I would give is I personally, and I think there's a lot of people, not everybody up here would agree, but I think a lot of people up here would agree, and a lot of voters in the state of New Jersey who don't see a difference between marijuana and liquor. As a matter of fact, a lot of those people might think that marijuana is safer than liquor. I would subscribe to that. And if you're talking about a world of a difference, if we've zoned for liquor on Westfield Avenue, I see no problem with zoning for marijuana. And I got to cut you off, but that's where we can talk more afterwards.
I'm sure we will.
Let's go Mets.
You said, 18 months? This will be up and running within 18 months?
Depending on approvals and stuff, right? I mean, one of them might be going to court. I'd say, no, I think it's going to be faster than that. I think the one should be up and running, depending on approvals and everything, by the end of the year.
The one on Colonial Road?
Yeah, I would say it's probably going to be up and running by the end of the year.
Well, hopefully we'll have the same conversation.
Yep.
Thank you for your ear.
Yep. I'll do, because it's a short thing and it was a short meeting, I know I'll do one more repeat for everybody. I'm going to cut people off at two. I know it's a sensitive topic, so I'll cut people off at 2 times. It's unprecedented for Mayor Signorella, but.
All right, Mayor Joe, cannabis is, I don't smoke
Can you just,
it.
one more time, name and address for the record, please?
Adolfo de Cosmo, 531 Spruce Street.
Yep.
Cannabis, I don't smoke it. I don't do any drugs. My concern is I got 5 children, and I understand what the public is trying to say, but fentanyl is a problem today. And these dispensaries are going to be monitored. I can't control my children from doing drugs, but if they wanted to smoke marijuana, at least I know that it's being monitored and fentanyl is in the project, inside this object.
Yep.
All right, so actually we're going to be saving lives. Nobody dies of marijuana. They die of other drugs, pills, fentanyl in these pills.
They fall asleep and they eat too much.
Yes. So I think the public's got to have an open mind of fentanyl kills more people than marijuana does. And as a father of 5, and I don't want my kids doing it, I'm against it, but you're not going to stop them. And as a business agent of a big union, I put a lot of members to rehab, and one of my members' wives sitting out here right now. And drugs are a problem, but if they're being monitored and there's no other illegal substance such as fentanyl in it, you're actually going to be saving lives. And people have an open mind to that.
I agree.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Adolfo. Good point. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, I'd like to say something.
Oh, yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
I have to say something, Adolfo. Adolfo, he's not listening to me. Adolfo.
You can get him at Costas.
I'll say it this way. On the other end, being clear-minded and being completely sober should be an option and should be taught. Because I've been around many people that have tried something and they end up doing, 25 years of craziness and their lives were wasted. Did they die? No. But their lives were wasted. So I am the type of person, even in my own personal experience, the clouded mindset or like you said, and I say this respectfully, Mayor, being, high and eating too much and sleeping, I personally would rather have the younger generation be raised in vitality to say you don't need anything to survive and you don't need anything to cope. You can actually live a life full that does not need to be high. So that's my stance, and I say it respectfully. So I do understand what you're saying, Adolfo, and I agree. It's better than fentanyl. But
I think we can all agree on that.
but at the same time, I want to maybe also possibly bring something into the town to teach that doesn't even have to be an option, that there could be an option to fully live your life without suppressing or numbing yourself. So, and that could be food. Forget it. Forget alcohol and drugs. It could be even food. It could be crazy behavior. So that's what I hope for.
People get addicted to a lot. But,
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I understand. All right, last call. Anybody wish to come speak? I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no items for closed session. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
I have cookies if anybody wants.
Here's got a cookie.